Good evening, Hiko Eevee just posted the movesets to all 3 legendary birds. We have ZAPDOS, ARTICUNO and MOLTRES and all the entire moveset, so I'm just going to read through them, give you guys my opinions. Again, they will only have probably one moveset, right, as we know. And yeah, we already had a small clip for ZAPDOS posted online, where it looked quite scary because it was activating golds or something. Let's see how that is going to work. So first, ZAPDOS, of course, because it's the next Pokemon being released in just 4 days. Passive static. When the Pokemon with this ability receives damage from nearby Pokemon from the opposing team, it paralyzes them. This speed goes on a cooldown after its trigger. When the Pokemon with this ability hits with a boosted attack, Thundershock or Thunderbolt, it creates an electric field. The electric field will remain for a short time, dealing damage and applying a slowing effect to opposing in it. So we know this right here, I guess, kinda. If that's an opposing, you spawn this field, and the enemies are going to be in it. Basic attack has the user hurl an electric orb, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. Whenever a set amount of time passes, the user's next basic attack becomes a boosted attack, so gated by time. Launching a powerful electric orb, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. If this move hits Pokemon from the opposing team, the user's boosted attack cooldown is reduced. Alright, so we have already some CC, of course, paralyzing, kind of slowing, or maybe, reducing damage or something. Then we have the boost auto attack over time. Thundershock, baseline, I guess, has the user attack with a jolt of electricity. If the move hits an opposing Pokemon, it also zaps the nearby opposing Pokemon, dealing damage to it. These are just the basic moves, right? Looks cool though. Discharge has the user let loose a flare of electricity from its feathers, dealing damage to nearby opposing Pokemon, leaving them paralyzed. If there's an electric field within this move area of effect, the electric field is absorbed, increasing this move's area of effect and duration. Okay, it's already kind of cool of a basic move. Also looks very cool right here. You can see the pictures, of course. Looks very sick. Then, of course, again, we can't choose, right? Yep, we cannot choose. It has one moveset. One single moveset, and I think all legendary birds are going to be the same. You will not be able to choose a moveset. It is just one thing. We have Thunderbolt on level 5 with a 6-second cooldown. Has the user unleash a strong electric blast to the designated area, dealing damage and paralyzing opposing Pokemon. An electric field is left in the move's area of effect. So yeah, just AoE damage in front of you. We saw it in the teaser already as well. Look kind of cool, honestly. And on the plus version we have reduces this move's cooldown based on the number of Pokemon it hits. That sounds pretty fun. Always fun to have something that gets reduced by hitting any Pokemon. And then we have Zap Cannon on level 7. Has the user fight an electric cannon-like blast that explodes on contact, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon caught in the explosion area of effect. When the electric orb passes through an electric field, it absorbs the electric field, increasing its size, travel distance, and damage dealt to opposing Pokemon. Opposing Pokemon caught in the explosion are left unable to act. That is very cool. Kind of reminds me maybe of Jace from League of Legends, where you shoot like a blast through like a gate. That's kind of what it feels like, so that sounds pretty exciting, honestly. And on level 13, when the electric orb passes through an electric field, the orb size increases along with the duration of opposing Pokemon left unable to act. Of course, has a stun, not surprised. So I have one stun for now. But this sounds very fun. So you build up those fields by hitting enemies, right? When the ability hits, it creates an electric field, and then you have to use your abilities on it. Or this doesn't really. The electric field is left in the move's area of effect. I mean, yeah, so this leaves an electric effect as well. You can just put it somewhere and then you can shoot through it and make a big zap cannon. Honestly, not gonna lie, that does sound kind of fun. That does sound kind of fun. A lot of MOBAs have this where you have to shoot something through something, and it's just gonna be a big explosion. I do like the sound of this, as I am someone who enjoys attacker Pokemon. Alright, new night move now. 89-second cooldown. This one is gonna be a problem, I think, because apparently it's disabled schools or something, right? Has the user continuously drop lightning bolts in the designated area, create an electric field where the lightning strikes. The lightning bolts paralyze and deal damage to opposing Pokemon they hit. If lightning bolts hit the same opposing Pokemon 3 consecutive times, that Pokemon will be left unable to act. If lightning bolts hit one of the opposing team's goal zones 5 times, that goal zone will become defenseless, and one ally Pokemon will be able to score instantly. I don't quite understand how this is supposed to work. So I can just walk up to a goal, unite move it 5 times, and then someone can score for free? That just doesn't sound fair, does it? Unless you have to hit enemies on the goal? I don't quite get it. I'm gonna be honest. It also stuns. This has me worrying. This Unite move has me worrying. I don't quite understand. If I can just walk up and just Unite move a goal with this cooldown, that doesn't sound fair at all. Well, next up we have ARTICUNO. Let's see ARTICUNO if this Unite move is maybe similar as well. It's a defender. As you can see, it's going to be a defender Pokemon. Again, thanks HQ Eevee for providing this. Very nice, very good looking as well. Passive Snow Cloak. After using a move, the Pokemon is cloaked in frost for a short time, reducing damage taken. If the Pokemon uses a move to surround itself in snow, it further reduces damage taken and increases the effect's duration. Icy Wind, Blizzard, and Ice Wing Whiteout. Apply a freeze counter to opposing team the hit. If an opposing freeze counter reaches a certain amount, that Pokemon becomes frozen. So similar to Ninetales, I guess, right? Similar to Ninetales. Basic attack has the user hurl ice, applying a slowing effect and dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. Okay. So it just slows on basic attacks. Great. Then basic move Icy Wind. Has user blast a gust of chilled air in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and causing snow to fall, freezing the ground for a short time. Alright, nothing too crazy. Ice Shard has the user hurl a chunk of ice in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits. If this move hits an opposing Pokemon that has a freeze counter, that Pokemon becomes instantly frozen. Okay. If this move hits an opposing Pokemon that is frozen, the ice shatters to deal additional damage. It's just the basic moves. Let's see the real deal, what we have right here. Blizzard. Has user summon a Howling Blizzard centered on itself, applying a freeze counter and dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. If an opposing Pokemon freeze counter reaches 5, that Pokemon becomes frozen. Upgrade, so it's just AoE damage around it. Straightforward. Increase the number of freeze counters applied to opposing Pokemon to 2. Oh my god, it's gonna freeze so much right on you. Uh-oh. But then we have Ice Beam. Has user shoot out a beam of icy cold energy in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. If this move hits an opposing Pokemon that has a freeze counter, that Pokemon becomes frozen. If this move hits an opposing Pokemon that is frozen, the ice shatters to deal additional damage. It doesn't have any mobility, right, so far. Increase the duration of this move, leaving opposing Pokemon frozen. So, of course, I mean, it's a defender. With Ice Defender, of course, it's going to freeze, right? It's not a surprise. We expected this to happen. But now, what does the Unite move do? 89-second cooldown as well, apparently. This can always, of course, be nerfed before it even comes out. We will see. Has the user summon a Raging Blizzard centered on itself, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. If this move first hits an opposing Pokemon that is frozen, the ice shatters to the additional damage. If this move hits one of your team's goal zones, or they're all gonna have some goal zone mechanic, right? They're all gonna have a goal zone mechanic. I knew it. I knew it. That goal zone will freeze over and Pokemon from the opposing team will be unable to score in it. The ice covering the goal zone will disappear after the goal zone receives a set amount of damage from Pokemon from the opposing team. Yeah, I mean, it really feels like a defender, I guess. Yeah. Okay. The goal will freeze over and the Pokemon... Okay, wow. I wonder what Moltres is gonna do. If it also has a mechanic to it. So yeah, ZAPDOS disables enemy goals, someone can score. Articuno freezes your own goal. And let's see what Moltres does. Moltres All-Rounder. Looks pretty cool. We have, for the passive, Flame Body. When the basic attack or move deals damage to opposing Pokemon, it leaves them burned and increases their burn counter. Basic attack becomes a boost attack every 5 attacks, dealing increased damage when it hits. After every 5 attacks. Okay, when after using boost out attack, the user can use one move instantly and the Unite gauge charges slightly. Okay. Interesting. Wing attack has the user spread its wings and charge in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. Incinerate has the user Fiery Orb, designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. The higher the burn counter of the opposing it hits, the more damage it deals. When this move hits an opposing Pokemon, that Pokemon burn counter resets. And now for the real deal, of course. Sky Attack. And also Heat Wave. First we have Sky Attack. Has the user spread its wings wide and attack with a powered up dash in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. When this move hits Pokemon from the opposing team, then for a short time the more Pokemon from the opposing team the move hits, the more the user's defense, special defense are increased. So why do we get... Okay. A dash, and then we just hit enemies. I mean, I don't... Okay. Doesn't sound too I need to see this in action, I feel like. On 11 grants user a shield effect when this move hits Pokemon of the opposing team. Otherwise, I mean, it just sounds pretty lame. It's just a dash, yeah. I mean, I guess. Powered up dash, though. Heat Wave. Now this looks cooler. Has the user exhale hot breath in a designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and gradually restoring the user's HP for a short time. Okay. The higher the burn counter on the opposing team hits, the more damage it deals. When this move hits an opposing Pokemon, the Pokemon burn counter resets. Reduces the move's cooldown when it deals damage to Pokemon from the opposing team. Sounds weird so far, not gonna lie. Doesn't really give me all-rounder vibes either. Looks like attacker Pokemon kinda with a dash or something, but sure. And then Unite move. Firebird Inferno, 112 second cooldown. Has user soar upward and unleash a blazing orb of fire towards the designated area, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and maximizing their burn counter. After this move is used, the area around the opponent's scoreable goal zone will become visible to the user. After this move is used, the area around the opponent's scoreable goal will become visible to the user. Okay, I mean, sure. You just get vision around the enemy's goal after using your Unite somehow. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, Moltres sounds kinda lame. Articuno sounds pretty okay. And then we have ZAPDOS, which sounds by far the most fun. We'll see how it is. So again, ZAPDOS attacker. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I really don't know what to think right now. I'm not sure what to think about this. It's just so lame to only have one moveset, right? It's just so lame to have only one single moveset, man. Oh well, that's just probably going to be the future of Unite. At least we still get 2 Pokemon a month. That's the only, thing I'm looking forward to. We'll see. They do look cool though, and I want to see them in action. Right now from the pictures, I can't really tell if they're fun or not. I do need to see them in action. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you all in the next one. Bye!